to come here because almost every other 2 or 3 weeks I'm here. And I'm here not in a negative way, I'm here in a positive way because since I assumed the ministry, this is the third set of trucks that I'll be handing over as we continue to replete and as we continue to re-establish solid waste as the entity with the responsibility for garbage collection. This morning, these four new trucks will bring the total to 13. And by the end of the month of July, you would have had the full complement of the first round of garbage trucks. An additional 11 trucks will come into the system by the end of September. And as I promised the last time, we'll be providing an additional $250 million more to purchase new trucks. So by next year, the National Solid Waste Management Authority will be well on its way with new trucks to provide proper service to the people of the country. We know the challenges because even as I speak to you, there are a number of messages that have come in on my phone. People complaining about garbage not being collected. I want to assure the country that we are working hard, we are doing everything that is possible to collect the garbage. We can only ask the citizens to just continue to be a little bit more patient because eventually we are going to get there. And it is a commitment of the administration that by the end of the next financial year, we'll be in a much better position, far better than we are when we found the organization just little over a year ago. But there are two issues I want to touch on briefly. There has been a spate of fires across several locations, and it is of concern not just to you, but of concern to the administration. We are not going to sit back and allow any one or two individuals to hold the organization at ransom. We're not prepared to countenance, we're not prepared to engage in any form of discussion. Any one or two individuals who believe that setting fire to the dump is going to result in any form of employment. It is not going to happen. And the administration is prepared to fight any individual, and I use the word fight. So you want anybody who want to interpret what I mean when I say fight, you can make your interpretation of it. But we are not going to allow any elements, wherever they are, to continue to do so. The government is going to be engaging the security forces in high-level discussions to ensure that we put the proper security in place. If needs be, Mr. Gordon, if we have to hire private security to protect the dump, it is a commitment that we will have to give to the country, because at the end of the day, it is easier we spend the money on prevention more than to spend that money on recovery. And I can only urge those who are doing so to desist. The other matter I want to deal with quickly. Over the last couple of days, Halfway Tree has made the news in more ways than one. In a very negative way. It's the heart of the city. And what exists in Halfway Tree now cannot allow to continue. The government is prepared to take the steps that are necessary to correct the problems in Halfway Tree. Within the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be convening a meeting with the police, the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, the National Solid Waste Management Authority, JUTC, to look at the problems of Halfway Tree. The country cannot afford the excuse that because people are poor and making a living, they are going to use the excuse of being poor to carry out blatant act of disorder in the heart of the capital. Can't continue. The police, in some cases, have been criticized for their actions. We are going to be meeting with all the stakeholders in Halfway Tree, from the vendors down to the taxi drivers. We are not going to allow it to continue. And as I said, the KSAC has responsibility for vending. They will have to step up to the plate to regularize vending in Halfway Tree. KSAC has responsibility for public passenger transportation. They will have to step up to the plate to control the level of indiscipline that continues to flow in Halfway Tree. And the National Solid Waste Management Authority has responsibility for the maintenance, the cleaning, the cleanliness of Halfway Tree. And it is going to be a collective response to this problem. We have seen in most urban centers across the country, this has become a feature of life in the urban centers. And one of the biggest excuses you get is because we are poor and we want to make a living. You can make a living. The government will make the necessary facilitations to allow you to make a living, but not under the present condition. And I can only urge everybody, when we start to put in the measures, nobody don't bawl, because it has to be done. And it is my responsibility as the minister to ensure that we lead the charge. Finally, let me say again to Solid Waste, you continue to shine as a beacon of hope, as an entity that have seen more positive press than negative press over the last year and a half. And I want to commend all of you from the top to the bottom for a job well done. Again, to those who are going to use these vehicles, same charge that was given from day one, same charge I'm giving this morning. Use it. Treat it as your wife. So if the driver is a woman, treat it as your husband. And if you do have none out of the two, treat it as something special. Thank you.